היום אני מדברת עם Gert van Leeuwen. Let me introduce Mr. Leeuwen. Mr. Leeuwen is a developer of critical alignment method and author of a number of books about therapy and yoga based on the method of critical alignment, and founder of International Institute of Critical Alignment Therapy and Yoga in Amsterdam, Netherlands. So I'm Polina. I'm a student of Gert, and I'm a pioneer in teaching yoga in Israel. So if you don't mind, I would like to ask you several questions. Your response will be very important for your followers in Israel.
I'm pleased to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. What is the main difference between critical alignment approach and other types of yoga?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to do this interview, because I like to spread the knowledge of critical alignment and all over the world, so also in Israel. And the answer to your question is I was trained to become an Iyengar teacher, and I was pretty good in that, and I followed the protocol of Mr. Iyengar until after doing 6-7 years of classes in which we started with 20 minutes headstand, so the real headstand with the crown of the head on the floor, and shoulder stand, I saw difficulties in the postures of my students, and either they crunched their neck in headstand or they crunched when they learned how to raise the shoulders. They crunched their lower back, and that happens in normal life as well. So I thought the anatomy, although Iyengar did a great job for the world to promote yoga, but I didn't agree with the anatomy anymore. And I thought that the yoga I knew and I learned, which was in the 70s and 80s of the past century, wasn't complete. So what I try to do, and which is different to other types of yoga, is to introduce psychology in the yoga field, based on the question, where does tension comes from? And that's the reason why a lot of people start to do yoga, that they feel strain in their body and they feel emotional strain and they want to get rid of it. So I need to do a lot of research on stress, trauma, and repetitive stress patterns which occur very early in our lives. And I wanted to solve the problem, because we carry these stress images. Otherwise, if we don't stop them or change them, we carry them with us for the rest of our lives. So I needed to develop a type of yoga based on certain steps, actually. First, relaxation, because the physical tension is also related to emotional tension. So relaxation, then tension blocks movement. It makes us numb and hard in the body. For instance, the upper back, it cannot stretch anymore because it's curved, and therefore we cannot breathe in a natural way. So first I wanted to relax the tension, and then to mobilize the spine again. So mobility and movement is the next step. Then I developed certain tools to make it possible to isolate certain tensions and starting to talk about it. What kind of tension are you holding between your shoulder blades in the upper back? And then, after learning that, how to coordinate the movement without the help of the tools. And then the final step is strength. And that's different compared to other styles of yoga, and also the academic therapeutical way of looking at movement. Everybody always starts from strength, but my steps start from relaxation. Then my teachers promoted to work together, promoted or supported me in working together with psychologists and doctors. And I have a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists in my classes, and doctors and specialists, and I work together with them. And and that became a method which became so strong anatomically, but also psychologically. It became so strong that I was able to develop a therapy method as well. And so critical alignment consists on yoga, which is also related to psychology and anatomy, but also on therapy.
So the main idea, the main idea is a connection of critical
Yeah,
alignment.
that's the way, instead of willpower, willpower is based on muscles.
Yeah.
But I developed a method in which bones started to connect again. So you need, and we are disconnected. Everybody is disconnected. All my students are disconnected in a way, and I was very disconnected myself as well.
Me too.
So I needed to learn to not only to release the tension, but to find a way, a strength, to connect the body again to the source, which I call the source, which is just below the scapula, the shoulder blades, related to the heart region, to give access to breathing, to experience the full fulfillment of needs. And that's where stress and trauma starts. Through anger or jealousy or comparison and that kind of styles of communicating with each other, we suppress certain needs. Suppose a need, for instance, is love. And parents or caregivers need to give love to the child. But suppose the parents, for some reason, are damaged themselves. They don't know how to give love. And then love may change into anger, which happens at the early age, in the age of 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's when the foundation of stress and trauma is built in our system.
So, if I understand you rightly, so the main idea of critical alignment, that algorithm, first of all, yes, so we start with the tension release, then we move to the mobility, then the coordination question, and at the end we come to the strength.
Yeah, that's physically, that's true. But there are other steps. Actually, I'm talking about the process of change, to get rid of the old images of trauma or stress. And so first, we need to find the neutral of the body. And the neutral of the body is related to the spine. The back of the spine should move with gravity. Gravity, in my opinion, and in my method, is the opposite of willpower. Through gravity, we can release ourselves from tension. But the front of the spinal cord, or the spine, should give relaxation to our two sensory areas, which is the belly, which I call the inner world. When you're alone, you breathe in your belly and you communicate with yourself. The chest should also be supported and free, but the chest is related to the outer world. When we communicate, I open up from the chest. So that's the first step, to find the neutral in the body. Then, from there, we need to find the neutral in breathing. From there, we need to find the neutral of the feelings, the connective feelings, the needs, because all needs are feelings. And from the experience of the neutral in feelings, then we need to neutralize our thinking. And thinking, that's like meditation. thinking, the way we think is we think in opposites. My country, your country, my language, your language, and so on. But the word of yoga means union. So it's not about to diverse the world more,
Yeah.
but try to bring union between people. And the last step is to find the neutral in the brain. And the brain should then not be active in thinking, acting from your opinion or my opinion or other opinions. No, the brain should be silent and should observe, which is the meditative brain.
Mhm. Thank you very much. So this is a connection not of just the body, the physical aspects, but this is a psychological aspects. It's an emotional sphere and the breathing. So if
For
we
me,
put everything
the
together.
physical tension
Yeah.
and the emotional tension are the two lanes of the same road.
Thank you very much. The people ask, and I would like to transfer the question, whether any person, whether it's this method is convenient and suits for anyone who would like to practice it, or there are some restriction or limitation.
No, actually there are no restrictions. So the I also treat people with cancer, and they don't have long to live. But still, when you put them on a strap and ask them to lay on the strap, they should experience in the last period of their life a feeling of well-being. Of course, there are different types of people and different types of students. So we have therapeutical approach, which is very soft and related to the complaint. Then we also have beginners yoga, intermediate yoga, and advanced yoga. But all the categories can do this type of yoga. Of course, when you're limited, when you're very limited, then you need to find a teacher who knows what is beneficial for you. If you're young and you want to do a lot, then you need to find a teacher who can give more difficult exercises to improve the challenge in practice.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, everybody can do it. Regarding race, skin color, or age, or gender, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so it's very interesting that there is some gradation of the practicing, like the beginners, the level of beginning, the intermediate, and the advanced students. In Israel, we now have just the beginners because I came to Israel 2 years ago and just started to introduce this method.
But that's perfect for a start.
Yes. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure to meet you many years ago, to pass all your courses and models, and to follow you and your retreats are wonderful. As in Russia before, so now international, I try to catch and follow some of them. So I hope that we can continue in the future.
Of course.
Our collaboration, communication, and
These days we can keep communicating online.
yes.
I can teach classes online.
After COVID, it started to be very easy technically. So
Yeah.
you need just desire, just
Yeah.
to wish it. Okay, thank you very much. It was really very interesting for me.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. And thank you very much for asking me.
Oh, thanks. Wow,
Was good enough?
it's good.
Yeah.